Okay, Victor here again, restoringmercedes.com. So we all know movie Shrek, where it says far, far away land. So in my book, it's late time. So anyway, I got this thing packed up. This video is for Tyrone in Maryland. I got it back together. A few things. This thing has to be together. The belt. Well, anyway, let's just not waste time because it's late. I want to go home. The booster is connected. I also connected the old instrument cluster just to test it out because I found some electrical problems there. So let's see. The cluster is still dead. Let's start the car up. And of course we can't because the battery is dead. My booster is not pulling this car up. No, I guess not. Alright, so let me think something up. I'll connect my portable battery charger. Okay, a few minutes passed. Let's just see if I can start it. Okay, started right up. Perfect. Let's go listen to our fans and to our everything. So the fan is working, air pump runs, that's very good. There are no more squealing, no more bizarre noises from the engine. That's what's very important because before you start it up it would squeal, it would make all these noises. So right now we got the air pump running, fan clutch, yeah, now it works perfect. No more noises on the startup. I specifically wanted to start it right after because every time you would start this car it would squeal and will make the noises and it's just like was bizarre. So now I put it back together. I put this thing back together right, so we have the support, the front support tight, so when you close the hood it's not going to be making this banging noise like rattling, so that is okay. Now for the cluster is dead indeed. I put the light on, you see I put lights on, the center, that outside temperature display goes out. I don't have basically anything going for it. It's like zero readout. So unfortunately cluster is dead. I have a very strong suspicion that somebody crisscrossed the battery and therefore the cluster died. I don't even know what RPMs I am at. The steering wheel is light, but what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put my cluster back in, and this is my cluster right here, but I actually, you know what, let me try to do it right now on the fly. Let's see what happens. Shut down because we're gonna have some resets to do when the battery is dead. I'll try to do it right now while I'm taping because this is it's not simple with one hand, but I'll try still. If I want to succeed, then pardon my voice and everything is late. I've been working since early morning, so I have to get my schedule in order because I got a lot of things to do and a lot of cars to do. Alright, let me help. I'm gonna make this video very choppy, but anyway, whatever works. At this point I just want to document this, so I'm doing this live. Gosh, Hold on a second. I hear some noises. Just double check. There's a little bit of a noise. There was this little. That could be the alternator though, because everything is so dead. I have my booster over here, this little booster thingy right here. The battery is totally dead. My charger, so everything is connected just to get it to start. Because I know if I'm not gonna do it tonight, then I'm not gonna do it for a couple of more days. Maybe a few days even. Let's continue what we were doing. Get this thing out of there. Okay, this is out. Now, when I pull this one out, that's probably ground or something. What do we have? We have, I mean, it's dead. It's just like not working right. I know it. And that's just to prove it. I just want to make this video by plugging my own cluster in place of this cluster, and you can see clearly that okay, all right, you can see clearly that it's the cluster itself. All right, again, I'm doing it with one hand, so it's not simple. We have radar detector connected to the wiring harness, so I have to also, okay, so here we have wires on point. Now this is all like plastic, so it shouldn't really damage anything, so that's not going to be a problem, I'm sure. Just if you just don't do any kind of crazy sudden moves. Let me plug this in now. Now this is a weird video, I already feel it. I plug this in there, right there. Okay, whatever. Just a little bit. 2 connectors. Okay, good. We have some lights already coming on. Good, but we don't have the rest of the connections. So let's put on the rest of the connections in here. And put in this one right here. So plug this one in here. Okay, we got RPMs. And we got the last connector to plug in. There. Okay, all right. Okay, fine. So now what do we have? We have temperature, we have RPMs, we have oil pressure, we have fuel. Put the lights on. Oh, actually, yeah, let's try it this way. Lights on. It lights up. I mean, not all the bulbs are working on this cluster, so it doesn't matter. Like these bulbs probably blown or something. I can't see nothing out there. Or maybe some of the plugs are not totally inserted, but again, this is not the point. My point is to show you that the cluster is dead indeed. So that was live. You saw me swapping it. This is the old cluster, even though it was rebuilt right there. That's the you know, whoever rebuilt it. But I'm thinking that because the battery was probably jumped and terminals were swapped, therefore the cluster died. Now we're reaching operational temperature, which is actually pretty good, and see what we're going to get in terms of the temperature. But I mean, to me, this is it. I mean, this is how it's supposed to be. Now, one more point, actually, before I forget. And again, my apologies for making this video the way I'm making it. Transmission coolant line on the left. Actually, I checked it out. It's very, very bad. It's probably leaking from there, so you can leak out the whole transmission fluid, and then the transmission will die. That one, and the right one, well, on my right, let's say, it's actually also in kind of dire condition, pretty bad shape. So you definitely, if this car to be driven all the way back to Maryland, then those hoses definitely to be replaced. Very simple job, like few minutes, but definitely to be replaced. In my previous video I explained that how I made that little bypass hose, that hose that was like on the outside. So now this cover can be put back together, because in original design the hose supposed to go under, not here but under there. It actually, I just made it to happen. I mean, I made it go under there. I made my own hose. I had the hose, but I had to melt it and like form it to be in the same position. Engine runs really nice, perfect. Engine runs perfect, like it's just smooth, and there is so much of the flow from the fan clutch now. As you can see, these fans are spinning. They're not spinning because of electricity, they're spinning because there's so much flow now. So this car will never overheat now. As you can see, I can spin them backwards, but there's so much flow that the regular mechanical fan creates that even these fans spin. So that's the result. That's the right way. That's how it's supposed to be. So this car is resurrected, that's for sure. Man, this engine runs really nice. I put my hand on it. There is literally like no twitching. It's very smooth, very nice. So to sum it up, probably not gonna even get to operational temperature because it's so efficient now, so that's probably not gonna happen. But anyway, instrument cluster no good. There's, I don't know, whatever it is, but it's bad, most likely because terminals will swap on the battery. The engine mounts and transmission coolant hoses, that is just immediate attention, plus ball joint on the right, on the right hand side, like, you know, on my right, that one, that's squeaking. And whatever's under the car, I don't know, but I didn't check the suspension. So at this point, let's try the hood. Let's see if it closes. Actually, as a matter of fact, every time you remove this piece, you actually do want to double check if you will be able to unlatch locks, because if you don't, if something went wrong or the cable went off or whatever the case is, then you were gonna lock your hood and then you're not gonna be able to open it again. This one opened up, this one opened up, perfect. All right, so we can try the hood now. Reset the position, double check for anything laying around, make sure nothing is around, everything is clean. And now we can close the hood now, because see, the thing is, these horns, they're oriented forward, so you don't want this to hit the horn. I can still feel lots of space between. Perfect. And this thing lined up perfectly fine. Oh, there. Now, yep, that's it. So the hood is closed. Needs to be realigned over here though, because there's a gap, right? On the other side, let's take a look. No gap here, so it must be. There is a little bit kind of a suspicion of mine that there was a front end accident at some point, because there are many different kind of hints I'm getting. See, like this one, the line does not line up perfectly. Here also a little bit forward. Just a thought, but and also here it completely doesn't line up. Although I have a suspicion that somebody put in a wrong bolt. There is like three bolts that you're supposed to put in the right sequence, and They're not in there. Let me double check. Let's see. This one is there, all right. This one is here, all right too. Well, then, if that's the case, then it needs just to be lowered down. That's all, because somebody did paint these over for sure, because you can see a different paint. Well, anyway, that's not the concern at this point. I mean, the car is still really nice. Let's just drop the hood. Closes perfect. Closes perfectly fine. So, I think I'm gonna just finish this video because I'm beat. Put the lights on. The lights work. Okay, put the lights on. I'm beat for today. It's a long day, and get me some heat over here. AC kicks in perfect. My heated seats on. And so basically right now there's two more things: those transmission coolant lines and the instrument cluster, because you kind of want to know where your speed, you want to know your RPMs, you want to know your temperature, you want to know your gas, like the gas tank capacity, how much gas you have in there. Oil pressure is fine. If oil pressure isn't fine, then you're basically gonna knock. See, now the steering is tight because instrument cluster was disconnected. So let's try to reset it. Now it's light again. There goes. Yeah, because if you disconnect instrument cluster, it does not transmit speed sensor, the engine speed rather. And I also hear a little bit of noise down under. Yeah, there is something down on the front suspension that's making a noise, maybe a tie rod or something. That's also to be determined, but this light staying on because of the code, most likely because when instrument cluster gets disconnected and the light is not visible by airbag module, then it will set the code and it'll go away. But before you change the cluster, you can't really mess with it. It's gonna always be like that, but it'll go away eventually. But this car the engine runs really nice. Steering is light now, so I can do it with one finger now, as you can see. So no problems here. Now we're in drive. Very nice. Once you change the engine mounts, this thing is going to be perfect. Engine transmission mount. Yeah. Most important thing on this car is the exhaust is good. Exhausts go bad on these cars very often. So, well, anyway, this is a very long video. I just want to sum up my work for today and go home, take a shower, and hit the bed. So yeah, we're all good to go. Actually, not good to go. Those transmission lines to be replaced before it's driven for long distances. At this point, you can actually lose your transmission fluid and then transmission can fail. It was already low when I got the car, and you also notice that the SRS light went away. So one more time I'm going to shut it down, restart it. See, my cluster has all the lights, and again SRS will remain, but you see it's pretty good. I mean, I like it. Alright, so this is gonna be all. This is Victor at RestoringMercedes.com. Thank you for watching.